G'day, Kevin Hillier and Steve Thom here with a preview of Week 1 of the Western Region Footy League Finals. Exciting stuff, Tomsy. Let's get stuck into Division 3 first up. Got the two games for this weekend. The second semi, Newport Power and Parkside. Great season for Newport. Good season for Parkside. Who wins?
Yeah, good question. It is a good question. It's an outstanding start to the final series in Division 3. I think Newport might just have the extra run. The wider spaces might suit them. And that's taken nothing away against Parkside. They were absolutely outstanding last week, as we mentioned, with the three big guns up forward in Kelly, Shepherd, Bonham, Gervaisi, all amongst the goal kickers. But I think Newport of Williams, we're assuming Williams will come back into that lineup. I think they've finished on top of the ladder for a good reason, that they're an outstanding team. They've got some good outside players they run. They've got a really good structure down there, and I know Parkside got away with them 5 or 6 weeks ago, but I think Newport might just get the points in this in that first final.
All right, and the first semi-final, these have been played at Wootton Road Reserve, incidentally, the Division 3 games. Tarnee take on Sanctuary Lakes. Curtains for the loser. Ooh, gee whiz, I don't know.
Home ground advantage, maybe.
Yes.
Home ground advantage, Tarnee.
All right, hadn't thought of that.
Yes, I was going to say, look, whichever way it unfolded, that's the way the finals grounds are unfolded. So, it's got to help. It's got to help their home ground, and especially Sanctuary Lakes. I know they've had a good finish over the last couple of weeks. They reshuffled Lee Spry, their senior coach, spoke to us a few weeks ago. They reshuffled things around a little bit structural wise up their forward line. A couple of extra smalls inside that forward 50 can make a bit of a difference, but a couple of big bodies there might struggle on the big ground down at Wootton Road Reserve, and I think Tarnee may get their finals win.
All right, let's head to Dempster Park now for the Division 2 games. The second semi is North Footscray and Yarraville said, and I have not got a clue.
Well, no, it's hard to pick. Yarraville rolled them a month or so ago, and they've been shocking since. North Footscray have come back in leaps and bounds. Once again, the big ground, I think, is going to suit North Footscray more. The outside players, the outside runners. If the conditions, weather conditions, which we don't know at this stage, if it's going to be wet and cold, it will help Yarraville. As many stoppages and the tough inside football is going to suit the bigger bodies there. But I think North Footscray should have too many guns. And once again with Murphys and Caters and Williams in their best last week, I think they're going to have too many guns through the midfield and up forward.
The first semi-final we saw a couple of weeks back, Caroline Springs and Glennorden. You would think Caroline Springs. You should think Caroline Springs, but Glennorden will not let it go.
Oh, look, this is a great achievement for Glennorden to be playing, in this final, and they're going to give themselves a big chance there. But look, Caroline Springs, you're right, should get this win. Glennorden, as long as they concentrate on the football for the 4 quarters, concentrate on winning the hard ball. Obviously, Caroline Springs will want to have their outside players again up and running. They've got a couple of key forwards up there. Lake's going to be hard to contain. Glennorden have to make sure that they win as much as the inside football as they can and just play attacking football for the whole 4 quarters and see what unfolds. But go with Caroline Springs to get the win of being a final. But Glennorden, let's hope they push them all the way.
Certainly will. Division 1, we head to 2 grounds. On Saturday, it's Avalon Airport Oval. We'll watch Hoppers Crossing and Werribee Districts. Saw them a couple of weeks back. Saw Werribee Districts again this week and still don't know I don't know who goes in favourite.
No, you're right. They've had their measure over the last couple of years, Werribee Districts against Hoppers Crossing. They did a few weeks ago. They were fantastic. As you mentioned, Kev, but last week against Spotswood, Werribee Districts, they just didn't fire a shot. They had probably 2 or 3 winners, and Nathan Black was good. I thought Panai really worked his backside off throughout the day, but a lot of them were just right out of that contest. They need to lift all over the ground. They need to get some run from behind, run and carry, get a few guys to start breaking the lines, and they need to find couple of different goal kickers.
Yeah,
Panai, with only his 2 last week, he played a fair game and a red-hot go, but they need to restructure a little bit more. Harrington has to fire. Molivas probably has to go inside the forward 50 a lot more than what he did last week if they're going to be any chance. Hoppers Crossing with that week's break, they struggled the other week against Werribee Districts in that round 17 game where Werribee won it. Under pressure, Hoppers is still a big question mark when they're under pressure from opposition, whether they can stand up at the right time, and they faltered again in round 17. 2 weeks down the track, they've got their opportunity again. I reckon they may have just learned that little bit more, another 5 to 10%, and just get the game done, get the job done this time in a qualifying final against Werribee.
elimination final is Spotty and Altona at Burbank Oval at Williamstown. Another big ground, a couple of sides in reasonably good form. And a lot of young legs running around on both sides too.
Yeah, there is, and some exciting players in both these clubs. And look, they're two sides that don't like each other very much over the history of this competition. So it'll be a big elimination final. Spotty were great last week. Do you think kids? They've got they've been given a bit of a ticket. All the young guys to play with their natural flair, natural ability, and some excitement amongst all them. And then you're throwing up the other end. Will Langland's still playing some very good football for his.
I won't tell you what his nickname is in the club rooms, but it's old and something else.
Yeah, I can imagine. But he's doing, and the leadership, the mentoring out in the ground that he does it's unbeatable, really, right throughout the club. Boydie, once again, was fantastic. So, they really lead from the front. I haven't seen Altona for quite a while so far this season. They've been up and down a little bit. Haven't seen them recently. They were good last week. Mitchie Turnbull, as I said, fantastic. But what I've seen of Spotty last week, their momentum up and going. I reckon they'll get the game and might put an end to Altona's season of 2016.
All right, first week of finals. Get out and get amongst it. Enjoy the local footy.